Good morning. This is the Subcommittee's first hearing on the federal workforce. Today we're going to explore the policies guiding today's federal civil service. And I appreciate our witnesses being here. I'll take some time to be able to introduce them in just a moment. Let me set some context. The state of the federal workforce is expansive. Federal government currently employs 2,663,000 and a few additional odds and ends coming in and out in the executive branch as civilians. Ensuring that agencies have a process in place to efficiently recruit, retain, compensate, train, and if necessary, dismiss problem federal employees is a difficult but essential task. And as a subcommittee with oversight on federal management, this task falls to us. But before we discuss these matters, I'd like to take a moment to thank our federal employees for their dedicated service. We have a tremendous number of very dedicated patriots that serve all over the country, and I'm honored to be able to serve with them. And for individuals that step up and say one thing or another about federal employees, I can tell you I've met a lot, and it's a great group of people. I'm reminded that 20 years ago in Oklahoma City, the Murrah Federal Building was bombed, and we lost many federal employees there, people that went to work that day serving their country, that put their life on the line. For those of us in Oklahoma, and for all of us on this dais, we understand, and we understand well, that we are very, very grateful to people who choose to serve their country through federal service. It's also true that lately a few bad apples in our federal workforce have made the news. That's a shame. And for those individuals, and we understand well, they do not represent what happens in the bulk of the federal workforce. These stories represent the importance of congressional oversight, though, both as to the incidents themselves and as well as the management policies that underline them. But as they also tend to cast a shadow over the good work that individuals across the federal government accomplish each day for our nation, we want to try to correct and do what we can to be able to minimize that. Senator Heitkamp and I are deeply appreciative of the work of federal service. We're honored for their dedication. We're sponsoring a resolution recognizing the first week of May as Public Service Recognition Week, and we're joined by many of our colleagues on this committee. We'd like to extend our thanks again today. The issues we'll discuss, which may be critical of the way the federal workforce operates today, are not indictments on those actually in the federal workforce. In fact, I would wager that many of them share the same concerns as we do, as I talk to many federal employees that feel stuck and their voices not being heard for ways to be able to improve the system. So we hope to be able to provide a voice to many great federal employees that have many great ideas on how to improve the process. For example, some federal employees may be upset at misbehaving employees, may be placed on a paid administrative leave, sometimes for a year or longer, pending a personnel investigation. Or some federal workers may be irritated that because of the way in which many federal agencies compensate employees under the general schedule, they're doing twice the work of a colleague, but paid the same amount. These are just a few concerns that federal employees have brought to our attention. The stakes are high, and the responsibility of Congress is clear, because we rely on federal employees to run our government. It's also important that we work together. It's time we think critically about many of the policies that currently govern the federal workforce so we can maintain a talented pool of employees in the years and decades ahead. I look forward to discussing these issues with our members and with the witnesses today because the future of the federal workforce depends on it. There's a lot of transition happening. We've got to navigate it well. With that, I recognize our ranking member for her opening statement.
Thank you, Chairman Lankford.